All right, guys. Well, if you've been watching the show, we primarily cover football, basketball, little MMA, and boxing. But, Steven, I think this is going to be our first segment we ever covered the WNBA.
Yes, it is.
But, Steven, I thought it was a good time to address this and have this first segment of WNBA because there's been a young lady, a rookie, by the name of Caitlin Clark. You've been watching Sports Center, or you've just been watching sports in general. Her name's been on there. She's been thrown around. She's been getting a lot of notoriety. She's a shooter. She's good. Was she the number one overall pick?
She was.
Number one overall pick. Went to I believe the Indiana Fever is a team. And so let's talk about it. She has fans. She has people that dislike her and think she's getting a little too much notoriety. It isn't. It isn't. What's the word I'm looking for? It isn't valid. She's just a rookie. Race may come to as an issue. There's other players, but me and Steven were talking about it before the show, and my personal thoughts. Well, before I give you my thoughts, let me get your thought on the situation a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, do you understand where some of these women are coming from and how they're playing hard against her? Absolutely.
Right.
Who is this? Everybody has an ego, men and women.
Especially athletes.
I agree with that, So to kind of play some hard defense on her, to make it work, give a little better shot here and there, not against that. When you're looking at some of the other cheap shots, not too cool with that, but I understand where he's coming from.
Right.
I can understand where some of this dislike is coming from or being upset because here you are, you've been in the league 5-6 years, you've been doing your stuff, you've been grinding away, doing what you can to improve your game, to improve the stature of the WNBA and what it is and the product and everything of that sort, and trying to make it such a better deal. And here comes Caitlin Clark, who's been on the scene for the past 2 years. Thought she was going to leave last year, coming on this year.
Yeah.
And it's just brought so much more excitement. And I agree to some extent. It's not only her. I think this is the first draft class where a lot of people knew who some of these players were, from Angel Reese to Paige, Cameron Brink, Lisa Peely from Utah. Just from all these different people knew at least some background of some of the WNBA players. And I think they just need to ride this. They need to ride and understand, like, hey, right now she's the talk of the town. I'm not saying just give it all up to her, but, people want to come and see her. Why? For the same reason they go and see Steph. It's the shooting. It's just something relatable to where people can play that type of game. They can shoot the ball from down deep.
It's a good point, Steven. Not everybody can jump out the gym and dunk it and throw it back. But
let's give it up to her as well. She's been able to rebound. I think she was the first or second player ever to score like 150 points in the first 10 games. Something like crazy rebounds and assists. So it's an all-around game that she's playing, and a lot of people are going to back her up. A lot of people are going to want to see her, and I understand where these other girls are coming from. But all in due respect, this is the money train. This is where you need to go, and hey, let's push forward with this and grow this WNBA game. I think let's not halter it because of pride and ego. You can always get your check in there, but.
I think you just touched on it, my man. That's the only thing that is real, the money train. Look, it always starts with one. It always takes one. This reminds me of kind of the UFC back in the day with Ronda Rousey. She was really the first female star to kind of take women's fighting to that next level. It opened the door for people like Holly Holm, Amanda Nunes, etc. Now there's more of a following for that. Whereas prior to Ronda Rousey, women were fighting, but it wasn't growing on popularity. It wasn't getting the eyeballs on their events. And I think Caitlin Clark is much of the same. Is all this attention, deserving? Maybe, maybe not, but it helps your bottom line at the end of the day. You're getting more eyeballs on the show, on your product, the WNBA. She's a really good player. I saw her hit like 5 or 6 threes the other day as a rookie. I mean, phenomenal. Not to mention, me and Steven were talking before the show, the way the seasons break up. She went right from college and essentially didn't really have an off season, jumped right into the WNBA. So she's doing all this playing like competitive basketball for the better part of the last year. So that's amazing too. But I just think, I get it, right? Do you deserve all this popularity and attention you're getting? Maybe not. Excuse me. But if this helps push your product and your bottom line where more people want to watch the WNBA, I think Caitlin Clark's great for it. And you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of components at play here. WNBA's been out for some time, but I just think, like you said, now you're starting to get to know more players, and the attention is it's catching on, and she's a catalyst for that, and I don't think she's going anywhere.
Yeah. And how proof is that? Joey never used to watch the WNBA people. I talked to him before
Not
about
at
it.
all.
And at least, and I'm saying he's watching games now, but you know who Caitlin Clark
I
is.
do. I see the highlights.
Exactly.
You know.
So, I mean, that's how much she's helped to at least put some eyes on the game. And, okay, you know, you can see other players too, but
Right.
that's just my
No,
point
you're
of
right.
view.
It's the first time I've seen it. I've probably seen more episodes of Desperate Housewives than I have the WNBA, but it's only because my girl has a remote. But
Gotcha.
that's another story for another day. But you know what I'm saying? They're getting some popularity here. So, hey, Caitlin Clark, more power to you. I think you're fun to watch. You can't shoot the three, and we'll see what happens. I heard she's going to be not Olympic starter, but Olympic alternate.
Yep.
So, hey,
You never know.
I'll be checking it out.
Definitely. But tell us what you think again.
Yeah.
We're just.
Are you on the Caitlin hype train? Is it a little too much? Are they doing this just to sell the league? Your
us
comments, let us know, people.
Yep. Until next time.